Hey, what's going on everyone, Vasco here and welcome back to the channel. And today let's talk about who I think is the team of the season so far in 2021. Let's go. So, having reached the midpoint of the season, this is a very important place to evaluate a team's performance, because if they are going well into the summer break, generally they are going to do well in the rest of the season. And when we reach the summer break, it's really an indication of how their season is going to continue. So without further ado, let me tell you who I think that the team of the season so far is. Drum roll please, it's Williams. So you may have noticed that Williams have been much better than in previous seasons, and they have been a Q2 car with George Russell in every single race bar Hungary. So a very good start to the season, and most important of all, they have scored points for the first time since 2019, where they only scored 1 point and it was because of an Alfa Romeo penalty. They scored points. So I think that Williams really did a great job, and when you take into account that they are the only team that did not spend their full 2 development tokens that they had from previous seasons, they were the only team to only use one of their 2 allowed development tokens. So they did not make any major upgrade to the last year's car, they just understood it and refined it. And look what's come of it. So with the same driver lineup of George Russell and Nicholas Latifi, which I think is shaping up to be a very good lineup, because George is really fast and I don't think he will be at Williams next year. I think he will be at Mercedes. And Nicholas is really stepping up his game, and he has halved his qualifying gap to George in the last year. So I think that both of them are doing a really good job, but especially Russell, which is pushing the team to new heights. And I know that it's Latifi that has the most points, but that really was because of a crazy racing situation, and I think that Williams capitalized on that situation very much, and you can see how much those points meant to the team. George was crying when he got the points, and you can see how much this means to score a point with Williams before he leaves to Mercedes. So now to the facts. Williams have scored 10 points following Sebastian Vettel's disqualification, but even if he wasn't disqualified, they would have scored 6. So in that race alone, they scored 10 times the amount of points that they have scored in the last 3 seasons combined. So 2019, 2020 and 2021 up to and not including the Hungarian Grand Prix, they scored 1 point, and then in the Hungarian Grand Prix they scored 10 points, which is amazing. And I think that it speaks a lot to where Williams is in the championship, that they have been a consistent Q2 car. In 2 occasions they managed to put it on Q3, which is really amazing, and it speaks volumes to how good George Russell is. And I think that in the only race where both cars get out in Q1, one is in the top 3 after the first lap, and the other one is in the points, and they both scored points in that race. It speaks volumes to how good the Williams is, because in previous seasons, and especially in 2019, you see that the Williams sometimes could profit from these kind of accident situations, just like we saw in Hungary. But immediately after, the car would begin falling down the order, and now they got an 8th and a 7th place, which I think is really amazing and speaks a lot about the team. But for me, one of the most important things is how they managed to improve the car. So both drivers have consistently been out-qualifying and out-racing both Haas cars. That's really not huge news, because Haas really didn't develop their car from 2020, but still, they are beating the Haas, which just a few years ago was the 4th fastest car in the grid. Remember when they lost that battle with Renault for 4th place? I think that in that season they had the 4th best car. They just lost the battle because of their driver lineup, which was always crashing. But still, Haas, with their 2 rookies, Williams is beating them comfortably. So I think that there is no way that Haas will pass Williams in the standings unless there's a crazy race and both Williams crash. But most importantly, they are in front of Alfa Romeo, and I think that Alfa Romeo is one of the most disappointing teams all season, because they are really sour in the back. So the team was called Alfa Romeo Sauber, but Alfa Romeo is just really the title sponsor, so they are still Sauber, which is a team with a lot of history and a lot of good results in Formula 1 previously. And I think that it's a shame that with all the cash that Alfa Romeo is putting in that team, that they can't move up the grid, and now they are being beaten by Williams, which I think is really good for Williams, because they are beating a team that just 2 years ago had a much better car, and for 3 years ago you can remember Charles Leclerc putting that car on P6 a lot of times. So they are beating a team that was much better than they were just 3 or 4 years ago, which I think speaks a lot about their progress. And I think that if they can start bringing small updates to the car, and if they can now focus on 2022 now that they have the points, I think that they can have a real surprising car in 2022 if they are finally understanding the way that the car's aerodynamics works. And let's be real, within that bottom 3 fight, 10 points is the difference between 10th and 8th. Up to this race, Alfa Romeo had scored only 2 points and Haas had scored 0 and Williams also scored 0. So scoring 10 points in a race can really be the difference between 10th and 8th, and it could lock down Williams in 8th in this championship and be the difference between getting almost no prize money to getting a lot of prize money. So very well played to Williams. I think that they made the biggest step out of anyone in the grid, and I just want to give a shout out to Ferrari because they also took a dog of a car and made it very good and made it a top 3 to top 5 car in the standings. So very good work to Ferrari as well. But Williams have been the standout performers this year for me. So very good job, and I hope they keep it up in the second half of the season because Williams is such an historic team and such a beloved team that I think no one wants to see them in the bottom of the grid. So this has been it for this video. I will be back during the summer break with more content about the state of Formula 1's mid-season and also a sneak peek at the 24 Hours of Le Mans, which I think is one of the best things you can watch during the summer break. But this has been it for this video. I just want to give a quick shout out to Tomo F1, and he just made my channel grow a lot faster with the shout out that he gave me in my last video. So if for some reason you don't follow Tomo, he makes great Formula 1 videos, and if that's not enough, he has a very cute dog, and that should be enough for anyone to subscribe to a YouTuber. He has a cute dog. That's how the world works. If he has a cute dog, you need to subscribe to him. So check out this channel. I will leave a link in the channel below. And thank you, Tomo, for all the help. So this has been it for this video. Let me know who your standout team of 2021 so far has been, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!